have a special guest today. I'd like to welcome Shele Sondheim, music producer. He's a guitarist, songwriter, producer, entrepreneur, music publisher. He's been involved in quite a bit, so we're really happy to have you here today. And I'm going to turn the floor over to Shele. So welcome again, please.
So much. I'm really, really happy to be here, and I've thought about this for quite a while. Extended dialogue with Dick at the music department and your college leadership, Dr. Carter. And when we decided to put this together, Jerry and I actually met a couple of years ago at a music trade event. And so when we put this together, I really wanted to think deeply how to ideally inspire you and inform you and help to elevate and escalate your competitive readiness for careers in music. And I think what I've experienced so far in my first day, I think that I'm facing a group of very serious music career people, as opposed to not really sure, and I'm doing this as a hobby. Just to sort of take a temperature in the room. Is everybody here to have a career in music? Is that what this is all about?
That's it.
Yeah. Is there any, and it's okay if you're not. Is there anybody that is not, that's sort of just like going through and touching things? Seeing what this is about. Okay, that's good. So I was trying to think about the best way to do this program. And I thought, I got guidance from my mentor, President Lee Burke, Berklee College of Music, who's retired now. And his suggestion was, when I said, Lee, how can I really do the best job at Columbia and really impact the students and just have a ball that week? And he said, well, bring a small army. So I thought, okay. And I reached into Chicago and was somewhat successful to do that. Let me tell you about it. We've got 6 of these master classes, and we're doing a couple of recording sessions, and we're also doing some performances. The schedule's right here. I'd like to invite you to come to any of the classes that you're able to. I'm not advocating to ditch the other classes, but I'm here for the week. And what I've done is I've invited a different industry guest for each of the class. And what's really cool is that they're based here in Chicago, but they work globally, and they're very well known. I'll tell you a little bit about who's coming today, it's fantastic that you'll have the opportunity, when I leave, to create a relationship with somebody that's working here in Chicago. And these are really cool people. The one that's invited to this particular class, who will be here, the way I've set it up is like an 8-point programming, okay? I'm going to go through these topics, and I have it really organized. I have a formal address that I'm going to read to you, sort of my appreciation to you, and then we're going to talk through some programs. I'm going to tell you about my own career experience and give you something that I call Daily Life 101, Strategies for Sustaining a Global Career. And we're going to do a question and answer, and then I'm going to interview the industry guest. I'm going to do it based on a book from Madonna's manager, Guy Osseri, called On the Record, asking 12 questions of 150 of the most successful people in the music business. So I'm going to ask these same questions to our industry guests. What I did want to ask of you, if I could please, we can rehearse now a little bit if you want, or if we don't need to, no worries. They're very gracious to take the time to come be here with you. And also, they really want to be here with you. They want to meet you and they want to know you. So when our industry guest arrives, if we could please just show a certain amount of craziness, if gratitude. I mean, really, standing ovation, or really, thank you so much, just so they really feel the love and the warmth and the welcoming that you've provided to me, okay? I'd like each class to sort of amplify it and get up to other levels of 10 and 11 and 12 on the knob, all right? So if you'll please do that with me, is that okay?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I really appreciate it. Now, and this guy is, his name is Ira Antilles, and I'll read you his bio and we'll do the formal introduction. But Ira was the head of music for Leo Burnett, the largest advertising agency in the world, and was responsible for bringing in all the bands and the hit projects, and he did, McDonald's commercial, I'm loving it, and that's all Ira. He's a colorful guy, and he's going to have a lot to say about the music business. He was just one of the keynote speakers for the Billboard Brands and Bands event that Music Dealers put on. Music Dealers was here last night, and this evening, the founders of Music Dealers will be here between 6:30 and 9:30. Tomorrow, it's going to be Vince Lawrence, who is the institution of house music, will people say Chicago house or house, it started with Vince. Vince, and this is known internationally. I'm not just bragging about a friend. He's working with Apple. He's working with Sony. They have the Vince Lawrence library of loops. His slang music group. He does remixes for Pink and R. Kelly's best friend. You know, he's just at a very, very unique level of success. After he will be Johnny K tomorrow. I don't know does anybody know Johnny K? Never heard of Johnny K? Which is like amazing to me because his multi-million-dollar studio is 3 blocks behind the music department. And Johnny K was nominated the producer of the year of NARA's. Stain, Tool, Three Doors Down, Sum 41, you know, Linkin Park, all of those kinds of things, that's all Johnny K. Writer, producer, engineer, and he's got this complex Groove Masters that literally Aerosmith could go move in. 4-story, phenomenal thing, and I'm going to try and create a relationship with Groove Masters and Columbia so that, you know, can you imagine singer-songwriter night over Groove Masters, networking party, you know, industry networking with you guys. So we really want to make these industry guests feel like we want to know them. And then closing it out on Friday will be Craig Bauer. I don't know, anybody know Craig Bauer? Craig Bauer mixes Beyonce. He discovered a young fellow named Kanye West. You might have heard of him. Lupe Fiasco. He won the Grammy for Kurt Ellings, who's your top jazz singer in Chicago. That's Craig's work. So he's also a very strong guy. And he just moved his studio into Johnny K's facility. So I see a lot of synergy here, and I see a lot of connectivity, and that's a lot of what I'm going to talk about. So, sound pretty interesting?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you're invited to all the sessions, and the whole idea is for us to create these relationships. So, my plan, if I love to talk, and I go forever. So, if you need to take a break, or we're losing you, or whatever, you let me know. If I'm not getting that signal, I'm assuming that you're absorbing it, liking it, we're having our dialogue. But my plan is to do this till about 5 o'clock when Ira's going to come, and we'll go into the Ira section and leave plenty of time for question and answers. And so you can really have that kind of class. Is that cool with you?
That's cool.
All right, great. So here's where we start.
And as Mr. Brindisi has pointed out to us, oftentimes they're some subsidiary labels of, you know, Major 4 or so forth. But if you can find out what you are, what you want to be, find the market that is into that sort of product, and find a way to market it to them, sell it to them, and cater towards that, then that's kind of the goal. And you have the advantage of being able to distribute to that cohort of people through the internet without having to pay for gas and tours and take large amounts of time and so forth.
Is everybody hearing this pretty well? You hear everybody saying? You can't hear?
I was basically
You
saying.
started I think I'll trade you spots.
Sure. Sit down. I've been keeping it warm for you. So I was saying his question about the transition in the music industry business is extremely broad. You know, how do you totally classify that? But when I think about the transition, basically is saying what is the internet and the capabilities that the internet has bestowed upon us done to affect the way artists, music business people, everyone in our group of industry operates. So the main thing that I can see that it has done is distribution is totally accessible to everybody and global. Before, in the past, in a time when Shelley was saying that you're either nobody if you don't have a label or you're somebody when you have a label, basically that's saying that the only way that you're going to get a large group of people to have access to your product is to have a label because they're the only ones with the distribution capabilities. Now, internet, we all have distribution. So I was thinking that the more important thing as either an artist or an industry professional is to find the market that you're wanting to sell to, the product that sells to that market, whichever way it starts with chicken or egg. You know, do you have something, do you have a market that you want to sell to? Do you need to come up with a product? The artist is the product, not just the music. So do you want to come up with the product to sell to that market, or do you have something and are you going to find a market to sell it to? It's just distinguishing yourself. There's a lot of really successful artists that never had Billboard radio hits. They tour constantly all year round and they make a lot of money doing that. They're just not a radio thing. And eventually their band gets built bigger and bigger, or do you go the other route And my answer, I suppose, to his question is just deciding what you are, what you want to be, or what you're trying to be, and how to best fit that into the new possibilities, because you can get your product to anyone.
You know, I think Columbia wasted the trip on me. He lives here. I mean, that's you're a very focused cat. I mean, that is said with all of the believability and passion and truthfulness and real life experience that I have. Absolutely, absolutely spot on. And I really admire that you're able to enunciate it, communicate it, feel it, you know it. It's a huge, huge compliment. Celebrity can be a real difficult thing to manage. And I know that because I've been around a lot of celebrities. But being famous, if being famous is not really the goal, and you have at least some honesty, if we can be honest with each other, that you know that not everybody's going to be famous. What was just described is that, but I can have a career, right? I can earn a living at this. I can make money at this, maybe make quite a bit of money at this. I can have a lot of fun doing music. I can involve a lot of people. I can impact people's lives. And that would be a pretty good scorecard at the end of this particular life existence to say, well, that was pretty cool. I created my own lane, and I won in my own lane. And that's what I'm hoping to inspire everybody here, Columbia, while I'm here, is to create your own lane. That's the simple way of saying what you said. You create your own lane, and you succeed in your lane. That's the only lane you need to be in. Now, the difficulty is there's a lot of freeways that you got to go through to get to your lane. And those freeways are going to involve working for other people, and they're going to involve, playing with the system the way it is, cutting their deal, having jobs outside of the music business to sustain your career. There's nothing wrong with that. I really encourage you to do that and do it with a heart of gratitude. Oh, here's what I wanted to ask. What do the students do on official holidays? Way to say it's Columbus Day or whatever, and in the evenings. Does this thing go 24/7? Can you go to the practice rooms? Can you go to the studio? Can you jam together? I was curious about that because I thought about my Berkeley days, and I don't know that I slept for 4 years. I don't think I did.
4 years, do we do that, or is there a place at Columbia?
Yeah, we're all Columbia, and are the labs open and the?
Not 24 hours.
Okay. Is that, you think that's a reality or a possibility or a good suggestion, or?
I think we use it.
Go to the practice room free in the morning. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes I think it takes a little bit of time to move the big ship going that way, but this is a wonderful big ship with some really inventive and creative people. My great friend Joe just walked in, who's what Jerry is to your music business. Does everybody know Joe Circuit? Joe? Let's give him a nice round. I mentioned Joe in my address at the very beginning of our class, and it's through Joe's invitation that I'm standing here. So you've got some very inventive guys with Joe, and Jerry, and Dick, and Philippe, and people who really want to make things happen. So I'm asking that question because now that I'm getting it answered, I think it will be the students' input and the students' eagerness to try and make these things happen. And we might want to get a little bit more focused on what do you need? The practice rooms open, jamming rooms, the Pro Tools labs, there should be some industry networking things that happen, like really each week. It just takes a little time. And I don't mean to overwhelm Jerry, he's got enough to do, but I think the operating a little bit 24/7 would be a good thing. Would you like to join me?
I'm waiting till you're done.
Okay. Why don't we give a warm Columbia welcome to my friend Ira, who just walked in. Welcome. You can sit here. I'm gonna continue on with a little bit, and then we'll get to the Ira section.